What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the podcast, Papitos World. We got the posse today, minus El Chino. He's off doing Chinese things. Who knows? He's a ninja, so he will be missed today, though. But we got Alex, we got Ray, and we got Chuck. Gentlemen, how you guys doing today?
Good,
How you doing,
good
Chris?
man.
Thank you for
How's
having
everything?
me.
Oh man, thanks you
How
guys
you
for being
doing?
on.
Chino's off creating the next coronavirus. This one's coming to an end, so he's creating the next one.
You know what? My wife actually told me today. She goes, I'm looking forward to hearing Chino say another day in the quarantine. But number one, he's not here, right? And number two is like he can't say it anymore because he's out of
We're not in
quarantine,
quarantine
right?
anymore.
Yeah. So I'm gonna miss that, man. I don't know.
The question will be that why you stuck at home still? Why? Get
Oh, we're
out.
we're only phase one, guys. We
Phase
gotta
one,
take it one phase at a time.
step at a time. Well, gentlemen, appreciate you guys being on. I know it's been a little bit. Just haven't. It's been my fault. I dropped the ball on this, so I apologize, guys. But thanks for jumping back on, and want to talk today about kind of what's going on in the world. Coronavirus is still going on. We're in a partial opening, like Chuck said, phase one. At least where we're at. Um, a lot of people we've been home for a long time, right? So one of the things that people don't really talk about is mental health and the effects of what this could do to you mentally, right? It's at least for me, I try to stay busy because your mind just messes with you after a certain amount of time. But if there's been people who lost their jobs, people who just been home and just they're going crazy, So just want to kind of get your guys' input on that and how you guys have handled it mentally and how you've been able to distract yourself. So Alex, how about you, man? I know you recently started going to your office, but prior to that, like, how was it, man? Like your head was like mentally, how were you with all this going on?
Yeah, you made a good point. That's exactly what I've been doing, getting myself busy. Um, Something about me is that I can't be stuck in the house like doing nothing. I can only do it during the weekends, but Monday to Friday, if if I don't get back to some sort of like normal routine as doing something for work or anything like that, I'll get super depressed for sure. I'll get super anxious and stressed out to a point. I don't know. It's just I'm a person that has to get busy at least Monday to Friday because I'm used to it. I've been doing it since a long time, 18 years old or something, working every day Monday to Friday. So
Yeah,
it's just if I can't. I don't know. Right now, I can't stop cold turkey. So
yeah. It's crazy how the mind is so powerful, yet it can do good or it can do bad, right? I've read a lot of stories and seen a lot of stories on the news of, well, even like people in that are not at home, like working in the nursing field, the doctors, there've been some suicides because it's just been so hard for them. You know what I mean? Like dealing with this whole pandemic. Ray, how you doing? How you holding up, man? I know you've been quarantined a lot longer than us because of your injury, but how you holding up, man?
Well, I was prepared mentally for the injury, and I knew that I would be stuck at home for a lot, but I never thought about like extended uh, being stuck at home because in some point you know that you can get outside, somebody can drive you around and all that, and I was prepared for that. Then for the first 2 3 weeks, I was like, yeah, I was already like at home. I think that I'm gonna be fine, and not that I'm bad in the bad shape mentally, but it's tough because on top of everything that is going on, at least in my life, you already have another thing going on for you that tells you do not get out of the house. So it's like a double push on you. And for me, it's been up and down. Like Alex mentioned, it's like I like to be outside. I like to just drive around. Sometimes you just get the car and drive around.
Yeah,
Couldn't even do that at all. And it's kind of sad to see the streets like empty at the beginning. Not now. Now it's everything's kind of coming back to normal a little bit, little
yeah.
by
People
little.
are getting desperate and going out on the streets, man.
But
Definitely
I
see
have
that.
my days. I have my days that being stuck. The house is like become tiny, become tiny. You don't know where to go anymore.
Yeah, yeah. You touch on a good point, Ray. It's like your mind just could take you to a dark place, if you let it. But we gotta stay busy. Like at least for me, I'll give you a personal example. I've been so busy with my son. I mean, it's a blessing. You know what I mean? This kid just 24 hours has me on my heels, but he's distracting me mentally. Taking my mind away from all the crap that's going on, not being able to take him to a park or not being able to take him anywhere. It's like we go outside, we go for a walk around the block, and that's about it. And stay inside and play. So yeah, you have to constantly be um, distracting yourself. It's because there's people that have a really bad case of depression and anxiety, and it affects them in different ways. Chuck, how about you, man? I know you work within the school system, and schools have been closed for a minute now. How you holding up, bro? Like, what have you been doing to keep yourself distracted?
Yeah, so you have to be extra creative. Not every day you're going to be as busy as others. I mean, it's impossible to stay busy, every single day when you're, on lockdown, so per se. But you just have to stay, be extra creative, come up with stuff that you enjoy doing, pay more attention, or do other stuff that you wouldn't get a chance to do if when you have your regular work schedule. And yeah, taking it day by day, man, like everyone else, and hanging in there. There's not much else we can do, so we just got to push forward and keep our heads up. So that's what we're doing.
And yeah, absolutely. And mentioned in prior episodes, obviously you're expecting a child. How's your wife holding up? How's she doing mentally? Because you know how hormones, especially now when they're pregnant, go all over the place. How's she doing? She's
Yeah,
been home, I'm assuming, right? She hasn't gone to work or anything
yeah.
like that.
She's here at home, and actually we were talking about it. She's gonna be home probably the rest of the year. If you really think about it, because we're less than 3 months in, and after that maternity leave, so by the time she goes back, it's probably going to be January, February, if that. So she's going to be home for the remainder of the year, it looks like. So for her, it's an extended quarantine.
Yeah.
So
She'll
yeah,
be busy though, so she'll be all right. She'll be busy.
yeah,
Be running around after crying baby, every 3 hours. But you know, have you guys seen the stories of? I think it was recently a nurse in the ER that committed suicide, and it was because of. They said that I think they left a letter saying that it was just too much. They couldn't handle this anymore. Somebody that is in the field, somebody that's been helping victims during this pandemic, that just it got to them, and their way out of this was to kill themselves. Like, that's crazy, man. Think about it. Like, Ray, what do you think about that? Like, you're in the front line, you're working. Obviously, you're distracted, right? Because you're working nonstop. But this led this person to, and it's not just one person. It's happened, to a few people to just take their
I,
lives. Like, that's
I
crazy, man.
read I read about that. I don't know the details on it, and because on that kind of sad story, pops, I don't want to get in too much into it. It's like it is sad. It's a horrible tragedy, and I don't want to I don't want to get into that much. But yes, I did heard about it, and it's hard to be in the front line because in a personal level, I have two family members who got the virus. And they survived. They're good. They're good now, but they're back to work. And actually, this week in one of the clinics that my uncle works, they had like 7 cases, 7 people sent to the hospital positive with the virus,
Well,
and 6 or 7, something like that. That's not an official number, but you heard rumors, and it's not that bad over here. Although there's a lot of people who are dying, that's terrible, but it's not nothing compared to New York. And for the people who work on that field and their work, the pledge is to save life, to help as much as they can, and not be able to, or the feeling of giving 150% of what you have and still not even close to being enough. It
yeah,
should be frustrating. Now on the suicide note, it's like I don't know how to take it. I know that the more people have mental strength, and there's some others that they cannot handle pressure, and they should be aware of themselves to the break to be where they're getting close to the breaking point.
well, yeah.
that's
That leads
true.
into kind of something I want to talk about as well. Depression, anxiety. stress, all that builds up within our bodies, right? Our minds. Um, and these people probably weren't talking about it to anybody. They probably didn't have they probably had somebody at home that didn't want to talk about it, or whatever the case may be. We as humans, we tend to bottle up a lot of our feelings, a lot of our emotions, a lot of things that are going on in our lives. And this is probably something that was happening to them. So there might be a lot of people out there that are going through a tough time. It doesn't really have to be because of coronavirus. It could be many things, but obviously with this pandemic going on, it's just going to add fuel to the fire. And just know that you guys aren't alone. Just know that there's people out there that are worse than you. There's people out there that are going through tough times. Just talk about it with somebody, your spouse, your significant other, your family member. Hell, email us, reach out to us. We'll listen, we'll talk. It's a big problem out there, man. A lot of people don't like talking about stuff that are going on. I personally bottle in a lot of stuff myself. My wife's gonna hear this later and be like, "Hey, yeah, I mean, you need to do a better job too." So it's not easy, It's easier said than done, but um, you know, there's people out there to listen. There's people out there to support you and especially through tough times. You know, with being quarantined at home, people losing their jobs, the economy the way it is, it's just a really bad trickle, domino effect. Chuck, do you see that things getting better anytime soon? What do you think? What do you think is going to happen here?
Well, touching on the mental health topic, you know, this new generation coming up, and now in society, it's being more accepted for people to express themselves. Back in the day, you used to just, quote unquote, suck it up and put up with it and live your life and hold everything in and screw it. That's how life is. But, now in school, at least from what I hear, the teachers and the counselors, everyone's talking about, express yourself, be who you are. It's okay to have a down day. So, that's very positive now of something that's going on. With that said, we do have to build our mental fortitude and we need to be more strong-minded. Life is a story, man, and a story has its ups and its downs. We're not all going to have ups 24/7, 365 days a year. There's a lot of downs in our books. So you just have to take it with a grain of salt, and you have to know that going in, and you have to teach your kids that, and you're gonna have your good days and your bad days, and just try to make the best of it. Always try to see the brighter side of things and look at positivity, and that's all I can say with that.
Alex, you got anything to add on to that?
Yeah, no, it's definitely look at the bright side. That's one. But one thing is, this is a way for you to challenge yourself. You're going through this bad time with everyone around the world, and reanalyze yourself. Take mental notes on how you're feeling certain days, and then think about why you're feeling like that. Maybe another thing is not watch the news too much if that's affecting you. Because for me, I stopped watching the news, because of that. Because I don't want to be hearing every day, oh, the numbers are worse, the numbers are high, and then there's so many conflicting sides to the stories, and then people are dying here, people are dying there, and maybe not focus too much on the news, and then focus more on your family. I actually, because of the pandemic, and something with me, I deal with anxiety a lot, so I don't like getting stressed too much. So that's why I keep myself busy with work, trying to do whatever I can, even though I'm not like making money, but I'm trying to organize. That's one thing that I do to, or maybe find ways to improve, have my office more efficient. I also picked up some hobbies, like I'm trying to grow a herb garden, and I'm starting to read, I started to read the Bible, trying to interpret the language and the symbols in the Bible, and just trying to learn new things, and that's what I try to do to keep myself kind of mentally stable.
Keep your mind busy.
Yeah, keep my mind busy with doing different things, learning, and I feel like I'm growing. One thing that's been challenging for me is just going out with my wife, taking a vacation. Like right now, it's Memorial weekend, This would be a nice time for me and my wife to just maybe rent a hotel, stay over the weekend, and I just go to nice restaurants, drink some margaritas or something. But right now it's like it's just we're home, so that's the part that's been a little bit challenging for me. Just I can't wait to just go out and go get a vacation. But
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
How about you guys?
different, man. It's just a weird, different time. We've talked about this many times. It's just a bad time. To kind of touch on what we were talking about, adversity, tough times, bring out the best of us when we want to do it. We have to put in our part. We just can't sit there and feel bad for ourselves. We can't, because that's not going to take you anywhere. You need to find something. Something needs to spark in you to bring out the best, make the best out of the worst situation. You know, and by doing that, you know, taking your mind off things is one thing. Like Alex said, you're doing a bunch of things. You're reading, you're growing a garden, you're doing things, you're staying busy with your daughter, with work. Just constantly challenge yourself, challenge your mind, so you don't focus on the negativity so much. Um, Another thing you touched on, Alex, which is a great point, the news. Like, you put on the news, and what do you hear? It's negativity, 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 negativity. There's never nothing good on the news. It's like, do you really just want to sit there all day listening to this stuff? You're just putting negative thoughts in your mind constantly, and that's just going to make things worse. So positive energy, positive thoughts, distract yourself, keep your mind busy, challenge yourself, challenge your mind. Those are things that will help us, or help you, whoever's suffering from anything, just get better. And talk to people, man. Talk to people, even if you don't know somebody. Like I said, reach out to us, reach out to anybody, a friend, somebody. Talk to them. Just let them out. Maybe they won't respond to you, but hey, you're letting it all out, and then you're gonna feel better. That's another way of doing it. Hell, me talking on this podcast, it's like a relief for me, from everything that's going on in this
You,
freaking world.
and the silver lining out of all this might be that we don't take things for granted as much anymore. Like going to a restaurant, or like Alex said, going on vacation. We used to do that mindlessly, and just, okay, book the vacation. Look how much we miss all that now. This is probably going to teach our generation, not to take things so for granted, and to really cherish every moment, and every chance we get to enjoy life, and hopefully we get back to that normal, because we all want our kids here on this podcast and everybody in the world to grow up in a normal world that we experienced when we were young, and our parents experienced. We don't want this. We don't want this new normal. We don't want to show up to restaurants with masks, and show up out there and not be able to touch each other, and not be able to express ourselves. So
Absolutely. And I think we can all agree on this, that probably nothing's going to change as far as the new normal is going to be the new normal until at least there's a vaccine. And then once there's a vaccine, what's going to change? Are people going to still be very cautious? I know I am, at least. Hell, I don't want to take my kid back to daycare or school. That's tough. But it's like every time he was there, he was always sick. Now with this, it's like it's another thing. It's like to worry about. Ray, what about you, man? What had anything to add to this?
Yeah, you touch on the kids, and I'm really worried about that because the kids are always sick, and I have two, so it's kind of double doses. And supposedly they get taking a lot of measurements and precautions and cleaning, and you cannot get into the daycare. You just drop them there, pick them up at the door. They check temperature and all that. And they're specifically saying that if you show, not you, the kids showing any like flu symptoms, that you're gonna be sent home. And then the question that I have, like, well, if you put that as a new normal, you'll be affecting people because they say that you finally make it back to work, your kid gets sick with the regular flu, not flu, like a cold, and then you have to stop working to take care of your kid because that's the new normal now.
And talking about the kids, I have a question. Do you guys think this like would affect the kids like personality, or like some way mentally, or behavior, or other ways like in the future?
Alex, I can actually answer that. based off what I've learned from my wife. So I'm sure I mentioned this in the podcast before. She's a teacher, so she's at home teaching virtually, and she does. She teaches first grade, and a lot of kids. She says she notices a change in them, and this is going to be obviously yes, they're going to feel this. 2020 is going to be a year that they're never going to forget. This is going to be something that it's going to affect them for the rest of their lives, negatively, negatively or positively. You know, they're going to be the namesayers on that. But yeah, I mean, it's going to affect all of us. It's going to affect the class of 2020. You know, graduating class. You're not going to be able to walk down the aisle. Like that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like we took that shit for granted. You know what I mean? And it's
Yeah,
like everything, like you guys touched on everything we used to do, vacation, anything, going out to eat, going to the freaking gas station. We've taken that for granted. Thankfully, we've had internet. Thankfully, we've had electricity while being home. You imagine we don't have internet or anything like that, and we're stuck at home, dude. We will go nuts, right? Like, what the
yeah.
hell we're gonna do?
Even with
Hopefully,
it, there's people going nuts.
Exactly. My point exactly.
yeah.
So even though we're limited to do as far as like going out, like we still have resources to keep us busy, keep us distracted. Sometimes it could be negative, sometimes it could be positive. But yeah, man, this is something that 2020 is like the year that nobody ever wants to remember, but it's gonna be engraved in everybody's mind for the rest of our lives. And
and
like
the
for example, I'm sorry guys, going back to what I was saying, my wife can't really teach the full curriculum because you're limited. You know what I mean? So, for example, the kids from first grade going to second grade are already going to be behind because they didn't get the full material, um, you know, that they would have gotten in a regular classroom. So things like that, you know, through the education wise, they're taking a step back. So it's a challenge, man. It really is.
the crazy thing is that, man, we weren't prepared for none of this, you know. And not to say that it was politics or the president or anything like that in specific, because this is a phenomenon. Nobody could have planned for something as crazy as this. But just us as a civilization in this time, and all the technology that we have, and all the, medical advances that we have, we weren't even close to being prepared for something like this, you know. So I think going forward, once we get past this COVID-19 um, virus or whatnot, I sure as hell believe that the scientists and the people in that field are going to be more prepared for the next one, because history is going to repeat itself. So, maybe
There should be a second round coming up. They said.
yeah, but maybe not in our lifetime. Maybe this COVID-19 is our phenomenon or medical phenomenon, but our kids or our kids are going to have a different virus come up, 200 years from now. Are we going to be ready and learn from these mistakes that we made during this time? That's another important, because we're living in
Just
history.
I think, I mean, I just think it's hard to predict like all these like different diseases that are gonna come up in the future, because a lot of them are coming from animals. So it's and there's like many diseases out there that they say they haven't even yet found or discovered from these animals, like bats and things like that. But I just think a lot of businesses, are gonna adapt. A lot of ways, are gonna change that we're used to, like virtual schooling. Like I know we had it before, but it's been implementing things like getting your groceries delivered, and drive-throughs at certain restaurants. They're probably going to start implementing some sort of like a drive-through. I think a lot of ways, in those ways, I think this is going to change. So in case something like this were to happen, a lot of businesses are going to kind of be able to adapt easier.
Yeah, as humans, we're going to adapt to certain circumstances, but out of those, what we adapt, is that going to be a permanent fix? Is that going to be the new norm? Is that going to be just for now until we figure this shit out as a society? You know, until what level is it going to get to? You know what I mean? What do you think, Ray? You think we as humans, as people, will get through this? Will survive? You think how long you think it's going to last? What do you think?
So as humanity, we're gonna go through this. What worries me is like we as humans also we do learn from our mistakes, but we kind of don't, because as Chuck mentioned, history
Short
repeats
memory.
itself. Yeah,
Yep.
history repeats itself. Why is that? Because we either didn't learn from that mistake or we forgot about it. And now it's a hot topic. People are being cleaner, taking precautions, but in a couple years, people are going to start relaxing everything again. And it's not that a virus is going to come. Hopefully, it doesn't come any other in the history. But we're going to start relaxing again because that's what people do. You tie them up and take precautions. You do the glove thing. You wash your hand every 20 minutes. For 20 seconds, you use the mask. And that's going to last, what, a year? And then when they tell you, well, we have a vaccine now. Oh, okay, we're not going to use it again. And then we're going to back to the old normal that we know
No, no
that
more
we were
washing
not
hands.
prepared. Yeah.
Uh,
So in a way, what happened in, I think it was South Korea and Vietnam and all those places, they're used to deal with this, and they have a culture of wearing masks and gloves and being,
Yeah,
I don't know, more
that's their normal.
hygienic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when the virus hit, they knew what to do. They were like, oh, we know what to do. Well, wear gloves, mask, wash your hand, hand
It,
sanitizer,
it's
be cleaner.
crazy the shit.
They
Yeah,
didn't
it's
have to close the country. Were they prepared for that, for the virus? I don't think so. They just knew how to react, and they reacted faster.
a lot better, yeah, than we did, or the
Yeah,
rest
but
of
I
the
think
world
it
did.
was. I think they wore a mask. Isn't it because the air pollution?
Yeah, but still, they know that it works. They didn't have to ask or run some tests. They were like, "Oh yeah, this is like that," but instead of like pollution, is a virus that it goes
Yeah.
into your nose, to your lungs. So it's like, okay, I'll wear a mask, I'll wear some gloves. That's fine. And they kept moving. They kept moving, and they did have people who died. They did have people infected, but they handled it better, or I don't know if they handled it better, but they got better results. Let's say.
Yeah, and we kind of talked about this a little bit through WhatsApp. I don't know if it's gonna bring it up, but I'll bring it up, and we could probably talk about this a little bit. Um, in the Bible, it states that there's things like this that are gonna happen. Um, Depends what Bible you read, depends what religion you believe in. That's a different topic, different story, but there has been, it's been written before that there's going to be pandemics, there's going to be a virus or something that's going to take over and going to kill lots of people. Ray, I don't know, you're a lot better on the computer than we. Did you see where was it that there was all these instances? I think they were like
It's like,
grasshoppers or
isn't it
something like that.
the prophecies of the four horsemen of the death, and there's like a drought, the pandemic, and what was the other one? Gosh, I forgot the other one.
Well,
Uh,
I think it was in India or somewhere that there's like a swarm of I don't know the name of the insect right now, but they look like grasshoppers, and that's in the Bible as well. Um,
The killer wasp, or the murder.
no,
That's
no,
what it's
no,
called.
not. I
no,
forgot
those
the
are
name.
like
it has a name. The one where Moses and all that, and the kill the firstborn. It's in a movie too.
I mean, there's
I
a lot
forgot
of
the
things
name.
that, like I said, it all depends what religion you're part of, and I don't know, that's
yeah,
why we don't
but
want to talk about
I'll
this.
Yeah,
take
But
but
that I'll take that point a little bit.
those are basically prophecies that were predicted by these prophets that are in the Bible, and then they put symbols, and that's one of the things I was trying to read, but I haven't gotten that far yet in the prophecies
well, yeah, no, but
where
like
where this.
there is in for example, I'll touch on it a little bit again. I don't really want to get into this, but in the Catholic Bible, there is a second coming of Jesus, which is
Yep.
the quote unquote end of the world, right?
Locust, right?
What do we think is the end of the world? The world is going to explode and boom, that's it. And no, not necessarily. But there's little things like this happening. A pandemic here, a swarm of something over there. Little things that have been said in the Bible that it's coming up is pretty scary. You know what I mean? Ray, you want to say something? You say you want to touch on this topic? Go ahead, man.
No, yeah, I mean, first, I haven't read the Bible, so that's being honest. I have a little bit of an idea through movies and people talking around me what you're saying, but I have no clue, so I'm not going to talk about that. But I do want to talk about, like, let's say that it's that somehow we know that something's going to hit us, but we don't know when, which is kind of the case that we were just mentioning right now. How do
Mhm.
you prepare the way? careful that like is if well for whatever reason you know that something is gonna hit you and you're gonna need like I don't know 7,000 million masks, 7,000 billion respirators. Like you cannot have that on stock in a warehouse. That's not the way. Like there is no society prepared to that massive amount of resources that you're gonna need at any given time. There's no way. There's no way to keep that safe in a warehouse or I don't know where in a big place. By the way, for just in case of something happening next year or in 1,000 years, that's not gonna happen. It's like you prepare yourself in the best way that you can. I don't have the answer for how to prepare in the better way, but for sure it's not like by having stockpiles of stuff safe, put it aside in case that you need this medicine. We're gonna have tons of it. In case that you need this, we're gonna have tons of that too. No, that's not the way. You either we're talking about diseases, you have to create vaccines, educate people. That's really important. Education, because people even in the middle of the pandemic, not that we're not in the middle still, but when still things were really rough. People were ambitious, like taking swim. I'm just gonna go around and having parties and gathering around. Like, hey, listen, they're telling you, and there's a reason why. Just stay at home for a bit. Let's control this. They have it under control. They didn't listen. So even though you can have all the resources available, the culture, the education of people, the following instruction, like the helping to the community, it wasn't there. And that's what worried me because that's changing people, and that is hard. Changing people is hard.
Now, in every scripture, Bible, whatnot, they say that the demise is going to be ourselves. That we're going to be the cause of our own demise. The human race. So that's kind of what Ray is saying. That you can take the horse to the fountain, but you can't make him drink the water or whatever the saying goes. You know, you can wear a mask. If we choose not to wear a mask, other people get infected. If we choose not to social distance, yeah, this whole thing started with a pandemic, but it can get even stronger. It can come back in a second wave if we don't do the right thing as humans, and we can be the cause of more damage. So I think that's what he's kind of saying there.
Yeah, and it's not just like this pandemic or anything like that, but like let's look around the world. There's earthquakes in random places.
Global warming, yeah.
Yeah, the earthquakes are getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Hurricane season for us starts sooner. It seems like every year. Snow in some places now. It's like what the hell is like? There's so much. We as humans are taking care of the world either. You know what I mean? We're not helping to that. What do you got there? Are you ready? Are you ready for
hurricane season? Right there. Got the pamphlet today.
There you go. Well, now you got to be even more ready because you got a kid on the way. That's another topic. But there's a lot of things happening, man. And again, this all trickles down back to you start watching news, start looking at all this. It's gonna mess you up mentally, But what are you guys' opinion about global warming and the things we're seeing in the world, minus this pandemic? Like, what's going on with the earthquakes and the storms and the ice melting and all that stuff. What do you guys think about that?
Well, I can say like one thing that keeps me at ease, and I don't panic too much, I don't get stressed about it too much, is that at least because I'm religious, I believe in God. I believe that God has it under control. Like God knows what He's doing. No, even if you think everything's going chaos, everything's going like crazy, I believe that God has the like a plan of, and He's getting us to where we want to go. And a lot of this could be Him giving, maybe giving us challenges as human species to become better and grow and develop new inventions, new technology, to become better humans. So that's why I just kind of leave that in God, and I guess that keeps me at ease. At least that's I guess my way, my way thought process.
Yeah, I mean, you have faith. People who believe, people who have faith are always gonna put their faith in God. I as well believe in God as well. Believe that everything happens for a reason. Sometimes we ask ourselves, man, we're in certain situations. Why are we in a certain situation? I can speak on experience that anytime something happens to me, whatever, I get down or whatever, and then you just see the pieces falling into place, and it's like, all right, my mentality is like, all right, this is what he wants for me, and this is what I'm gonna just follow his way. So yeah, and that's and that point, Alex. Yeah, people who believe in that, it's easier for them because we put our trust in him, we put our trust in his plan for us. But there's people who don't believe in that. So like, how would they handle it? You know what I mean? What do you think
No,
about that, Chuck?
and we were talking about that off air on the WhatsApp. I mean, it's perfectly fine to believe, and it's also perfectly fine to question. If you have questions out there, it's fine. A lot of people, us, we believe and we have our own beliefs, but at the same token, we have our questions. And it's part of the equation, and belief and questioning something is just as powerful. So, I just wanted to, I guess, put that in there. But yeah, no, religion definitely does make things a little easier to take in. And I know Ray and I on the WhatsApp, we touched on that, about how religion, with, I don't know how sensitive we want to get on this podcast, but with death and with, just basically everything that goes on in life, how it makes it easier and to cope with. So
Yeah, Alex, you sent that link WhatsApp, and I haven't seen the whole thing because it's pretty long, but it's
Yeah.
very interesting to see both guys' point of view.
Yeah,
It's
it talks about like creation
evolution
and
versus
evolution,
right.
where like the guy brings pretty good points in both sides, and there's parts that I'm still on the fences, and I guess that's one of the things that got me into kind of like getting more into religion and learning about the Bible. That school systems, they're really big on teaching like evolution theory, which is not even a fact. It's just a theory based
Yeah,
on
science
some
and stuff,
evidence
right?
and things like that. But then in the creations, the guy explains that there is also lots of facts that he can prove that that the God how was created, just how the Bible is, like those stories he can
Hmm.
prove that they're
Yeah,
all
yeah. There's
real
actually
in their
plenty of
ways.
evidence out there about that. Yeah, right.
He even
yeah,
says, like, for example, like he says, like dogs, for example, can never turn into something like humans. So he says like monkeys species can never become human, and he gets into deep of why they can't become. They could just become other monkey species, but they can't just grow from monkeys to human. Like humans can grow into something else. You get me? Like that's why a woman cannot be pregnant by a dog. So he gets into deep explanations of like why evolution theory has like certain
Yeah, if you guys
gaps.
want to see that, it's very
It's pretty
interesting.
interesting.
Yeah, it's Bill Nye, the science guy. That
you should
his theory.
probably add the link on the YouTube channel so they
Yeah,
can
I'll
see it
do
on the
that. I'll do
description.
that. Bill Nye, the science guy. Everybody knows him, and he was the theory of evolution. And what was the gentleman's name?
I
Slipped my
think
mind.
I forgot his name right now. It's
No, I'll put the link like Chuck said. And
yeah.
his theory is creation, and these two go back and forth, and they both make great points. But you know, it's like I said, it's all what we believe in, what we were raised to believe. Ray, you want to touch on that, or
To be honest, not really. No, I don't want to get deep into that because I have no knowledge, and I haven't listened to the link that the Alex sent.
it's really
And
good. I mean, you would enjoy it because you're a guy that likes interesting stuff.
yeah, I
It's
like to
got a
learn.
lot of
I like to
information. Yeah,
learn.
yeah,
But as you said, it's like a 3 hours long. I need three
yeah,
hours
it's
of
long
my
as shit.
life
Yeah.
for that.
Let me tell
I
you,
might
it's
have
one of
cut
the
it
most
up in half
epic
hours for a
debates.
week.
It's one of the
But
most
I do
epic
want to go
debates you're gonna
back
see.
to I do want to go back to the original topic now because I want to cut this one off. I'm not prepared. Let's put it in that way.
That's fine, bro.
You
Go ahead.
mentioned the nurse that killed herself and because he was on the front line,
Hmm.
but there is more. There's more to it, and not to the nurse, and it's the cause of why people are suffering what they're suffering right now, and it is the virus. Yes, in regular situation, people go through hard times because stuff are happening in their life. I mean, happening in their life, or not. But So as right now, it's because for like a common enemy, and most people are suffering the same thing, and they have no way out because you cannot go outside, you cannot go to work, and it's not because you lose your work. You're not allowed to go to work. You need to stuck at home. And if for whatever reason, and I hope you do have a happy life, but if you don't have a happy life, being at home causes more stuff like domestic violence, like kids are suffering the violence at home also, and like divorces. Like I was reading something, it's messed up, which is not true, but they were saying that divorce lawyers were like up for like 40 or 50% calls, more calls than regular
Yeah,
times,
it's gonna
and
go
that
up.
is
Yeah,
sad.
it
Families are
is.
breaking, and it's not only mentally. It's like family, the whole
Because
family.
Yeah,
what happens to some
And
people is actually there's some people out there that look forward to going to work. Work is a chance to escape
as
the
an escape.
reality of their
Yeah,
life.
of
Yeah.
course.
So basically, that's why now you see the divorce rate go up, and you see all these other issues in our society.
who would
Like I
have
touched
thought
on it
that you
earlier, man.
would be missing going to work? Most people go like, "Oh my God, I need a
I hate work.
vacation."
Fuck, I gotta go back to work. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's people that like, I want to go back to work because I can't stand my spouse.
Yeah.
And no, honey, I'm not talking about you.
She's
Couch,
there looking at you
couch.
like, what?
You have a couch at home?
uh,
What?
honestly, man, like I mentioned earlier, I've been fortunate to be home with my boy, and I haven't really. Not that I don't spend time with him. I obviously do, but like to the extent that I've been able to do it, as of late, and it's been the best times of my life. I mean, yeah, sometimes Ray, you and I, since we're parents, we kind of sometimes talk. Hey, how you doing? How's things over there? Kind of share little tricks and tips here.
The
Yeah.
daily operations.
So it's like, there's sometimes I'm like, man, he's rough today, or nah, it's good. It's like, when you have two, bro, God bless you. But I've been able,
Oh, tell
I've
me
been
about it,
fortunate,
man.
I've been fortunate to spend a lot of time with my kid and a lot of time with my wife, and it's kind of like resparked. It's kind of like resparked the relationship. Like we're like
Yeah,
getting to know each other again a little bit more. We're talking more, obviously, because we're with each other a lot more. We're spending time with a baby. I feel like our family as a whole has gotten stronger during this pandemic. But like you guys mentioned, there's families that are breaking. There's couples that hate each other now. They want to get divorced, and it could be very ugly. Yeah, it's separate from mental problems or mental issues, and it's just families, like you said, Ray,
But
are suffering.
I think a lot of it has to do with the effort of each partner. Like in this scenario, Chris, like you put a lot of effort into your family, into your kid, and that's why your family got stronger. During this pandemic because you were there, and spend the time playing with your kids. And I'm sure with your wife, you spend the time with her as well.
Yeah, I
So
spend time playing
that's
with her too.
and
Not in that way though, but with the kid,
with the
it's
kid.
awesome. Yeah,
Yeah, but it takes effort, and sometimes it's easy just to run off and ignore your problems. But I think especially if you're going through something mentally, like it's best to maybe face those problems and put some effort, and then maybe inside yourself and see if there's something that you need to improve on or work on.
yeah. When there's like when we talked about earlier too, like when you got to make the best out of the situation. And I've been fortunate enough to feel like my family has gotten stronger. Like my little core here at home has gotten stronger. And I'm blessed with that. What about you, Chuck? Spending time with a
I,
pregnant woman
I'm dying to
amongst.
go. Dying to go back to work, bro. When is the office open? No, I'm kidding. No, it's good. It's a different change of pace, but you know, going to work, provides something for yourself. I think,
Of
and I
course.
think
No, yeah, for sure.
we can all attest to that. It kind of shows a accomplishment. You kind of feel like you're doing, and your goal is to obviously make financial gains for your kids and for your family and to get ahead. So that's a big part of our lives. And now you take that away and you completely erase that. You have to fill the void with like you said, staying home, taking care of your kids and, being with your wife and cooking dinner and, just hanging out there, But,
Yeah.
Those are the cards we're dealt right now, and that's what we gotta take.
Don't
I
get me
believe
wrong.
that as human beings, we need a sense of purpose. And for most, I mean, I don't know, I haven't done a study on it, but for most people who have family, that purpose becomes eventually provided for your family through working. Again, if you have your own business, you're a millionaire, you won the lottery, congratulations. But for most people who have family, that sense of purpose become going to work. And now that you cannot go to work, you kind of lost. You lose your sense of purpose, like waking up in the morning and like sucking it up and go like, yeah, I have to work, but I'm providing for my family. I'm
Mm.
finally gonna get that for my kid, or this, or that vacation, that dream vacation, or that dream whatever, or that free time that I deserve, that I've been working for. But now you just wake up in the morning and that's it. You just wake up. And again, there is positive side of it. You reunite your family. You spend time with your kid and your wife. That's awesome too. But eventually, you need to get out. Eventually, you need to get out and find your purpose again. And
No,
you,
yeah,
as a
for sure.
whole, as a family, all of you kids need to go to school to learn to live their life, to learn to how to make mistakes, how to learn from those mistakes. And you, as an adult, have to do the same for you and for them. And that sense of purpose is like it kind of it's a blur now. It's a blur line right now. I will say since everything's coming back. I guess I know what you think about that.
No, 100%, Ray. Like I said, me personally, I feel like my family's got stronger through this. But don't get me wrong. There's times that I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go walk the dog, just me and him, because I need that 5 minutes for myself. Hey, I'm gonna put gas in the car, even though I put gas 2 days ago. Stuff like that. Um, but yeah, our work, our routine, all of that has been a change for the time being, right? But we will get over this. We will get beyond this, and you know, let's thinking about wrapping this up because I think it was a pretty good episode. But let's wrap it up on a light note, guys. Now that we're in phase one, and where we're at, phase 2 and 3 and whatever, how many freaking phases they have, whatever, I don't know. What is gonna? I'll start with Alex. Alex, what is the one thing you're looking forward to doing now once this is all over? Like once everything is back to normal, what's the one thing you're looking forward to do?
Well, vacation, that's the one thing, definitely want to take maybe a vacation with me and my wife and go to a condo somewhere like where, in the beach. So in a condo in
Would
the
you stay in
beach. That's
Florida? Would you get out of Florida, or what would you do?
no, I'll stay in Florida. I don't have to go something fancy. I think I would just go to just a nice condo, maybe Tampa or somewhere else, Marco Island or something like that.
So you're looking forward to like an actual vacation.
Yeah, like a chill vacation in Florida. Not like something crazy. I'm not ready. I don't want to fly to like Paris or anything. I just something chill.
I don't think we want to be in an airplane anytime soon, right?
Yeah,
Especially with everything going on. But they're
yeah,
taking
of course.
precautions too, man. They're talking about not having people sit next to each other. So the airline industry is going to suffer. Trust me, I know. Chuck, what about you, man? Besides basketball, because I know that's what you're gonna
Yeah,
say.
that
Yeah.
he doesn't
Uh,
know that he's done. He doesn't know that yet. Just don't let him know. He doesn't know.
yeah, basketball. I don't know, just having the freedom to do whatever the hell you want,
Yeah,
and not have to, be like, okay, I have these restrictions, or oh, I gotta stand 6 feet away from this person, or I gotta wear a mask, or this person's not wearing a mask. Should I wear a mask? Or I don't know. Should I shake this person's hand? Should I give him a high five? Bro, it's stupid. It's to the point where you know, there's no right way right now, and that's the problem. There's too much mystery. There's too much, you know, up in the air, and that I think that's driving us all crazy. So, yeah, that's just that.
And basketball.
And
yeah.
basketball.
Ray, what
Yeah.
about you, bud?
Uh, I will put it in two sentences. I'll try. It's overall I would like to get back to getting around people without being afraid, and like the supreme state for that it'll be like just being free, because I don't feel that I'm free right now. and I'm not afraid, but I don't feel that I'm free, and that is an issue for me
Yeah,
at least.
yeah, it's tough. I'll tell you, I'll probably surprise you guys. I'm not actually looking forward to going to Target. With my wife and my kid. And not for the reasons you guys think, but for the reasons that I go and see all the other guys' face of why the freak am I here again. Um, and no, honestly, man, just to get out with my wife and my kid. We've been stuck home for so long, and like I said, we walk around the neighborhood a couple times, but like that, after a while, it gets old. You know what I mean? It's like I just want to be able to enjoy going out with my family, safely, obviously, and not worry about all the restrictions and all the 6 feet apart, mask, and all that crap. Because a kid, a 1 year old, is not gonna freaking put a mask on. You know what I mean? No way in hell. Right? You're what, 5 year old, 6 year old? He's not gonna put a freaking mask on. You know? It's
But
like,
no, he does. He does. He understands. He's old enough to understand. He
They're
yeah,
actually
selling
asked for
they're,
his
they're
gloves and
selling masks for kids now. They're giving a mask with a little stuffed animal that looks like a little frog stuffed animal, and a mask that looks like a
I
frog.
got a hold
oh really?
of one that has
Yeah,
Hulk on the front, and he lost it. But
Is
he
there is
yeah,
there
understands.
is there
I,
something out of all this that we've lost completely that we're never gonna get back? Is there something like, maybe like a buffet restaurant? Is there something that we can kiss goodbye that you think never is gonna come back ever since this pandemic?
you want to know what I think we're gonna lose? And call me crazy. I think movie theaters are gonna go away
Yep. Mhm.
now that
Not
there's
now.
been, there's been a couple of movies. The one that sticks out is Trolls. They
Yeah.
did through
AMC.
Fandango. Um,
AMC.
that you stream the movie, like whatever you paid whatever, and then you could watch it from your home. I think that's gonna be the new normal. Because a movie theater is very confined. Next to seats on top of each other. So I think maybe that might be
maybe not
one
all of
thing that
them,
we might lose.
but a bunch. Yeah, maybe not all of them. I still think they'll stay. A few will stay, but not. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of them are gonna close. Bakeries, I think, like those Cuban bakeries here, a lot of them are gonna close too. Some of them, I think, they're not selling too much.
I mean, maybe like you said, the theaters and the sporting events, maybe they'll reconfigure the stadiums some way somehow to have some space in between. I guess less capacity and there's more space in between the
Yep.
seating.
I was thinking about that. The airplanes. That's one thing that I'm looking for. Like,
Yeah,
hopefully they just take away the middle seat and you have plenty of space in the plane.
Well, airplanes used to be comfortable, then they started shoving in 100 more seats per freaking
Yeah.
plane, and then you have no
Well,
leg room and no whatever.
not
So now it's
anymore.
gonna go. Now that's completely different. I mean, this
They
is
better
changing
change or
everything.
they're going down.
I
I mean,
think
they're
I think
already going down, but they got to change because it's just I know now they're requiring you to wear a mask on a plane, and there certain airlines are, like I said, taking once you can't sit next to each other, so that's gonna hurt them financially, and we'll see what happens, man. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be
I think
crazy.
we lost the buffets. I think buffets are gone. That's my personal opinion. I think I don't know how you
But
justify
why do you
going
think
to a
that?
buffet because a buffet is a crowd of people. What do you picture when you think of a buffet? You picture of a crowd of people. You picture of that nasty person coughing all over the cold cuts and the cheese.
What type of buffet do you go?
You picture
What kind of
Golden
buffet are you going, man?
Golden
Bro,
Corral.
Golden Corral. People being nasty, people going back and double dipping and getting the sauce and then putting the sauce spoon back and just you know what I mean. We've all been to a buffet. We know it's not the cleanliest place on earth. And I think that's gonna suffer big time. I don't think there's gonna be many of those. And
You're
I
right.
love buffets,
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
all you
But
can eat, man.
I don't know. Maybe they still stick around. Maybe not all of them, but some of them will stick around, man. Like, I think that there's still going to be a demand for people wanting to go to the buffet. So I think as long as there's a demand, there's hope.
I think restaurant businesses have adjusted well. As far as deliveries, and a lot of them have offered, like a lot of people do ordering through Uber Eats, right? I know I spend a ton of money on that crap, but a lot of restaurants themselves offer free delivery. And if they've adjusted well, obviously people still need to eat. They're opening restaurants, I believe, at 50% capacity, right, guys? If that's what I understood.
Yeah, they started at 25, they bump it up to 50
Yeah,
now.
I think people are still going to be kind of scared about that. And I think you're still going to see the restaurant business strong as far as deliveries and stuff like that. But Chuck, you make a good point. Buffets, yeah, people coughing all over the place, food exposed. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's a good way to look at it. You know, it's something that
That one's
we
gonna
might
be
not
tough.
see anymore.
Yep.
Well,
Definitely a lot of
gentlemen,
more pod. Go ahead, wrap this up. We'll just suck her up.
yeah, man, it was fun. Welcome back. Right, it's been too long. I apologize for that again. Promise I'll do a better job. Um, wrapping my head and mind towards this, but we'll do some more upcoming soon. I know Chuck wants to do another ask the dads podcast, so we'll get him on that one too soon. So, but gentlemen, it was a pleasure like always, and thanks for being on.
No problem,
Thank
man.
you for
Thank you,
having
Chris.
us.
Take care.
Have a good night, guys.
You too.
All right. Bye.